Welcome back, besties, to the FanTEAsy Podcast, where two besties spill all the delicious tea on the books we read. I'm Kelly, and my bestie is obviously Montana. We are so excited to be joining the revolution. Please, if you haven't done so already, go leave a review, subscribe to our podcast, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and our newly added Patreon to be the first to know of all new episodes and fun updates.
As you know, if you are in this episode, then you should know, we are doing a deep dive through the Empyrean series, currently working through Iron Flame, roughly 4-ish chapters at a time. We are diving into the world building, the characters, the dragons, the signets, fan theories, our own theories, and so much more. So please take note and prepare to join the revolution.
Remember, this podcast is a full deep dive, and we will be covering both Iron Flame and Fourth Wing, as well as some theories of fans, as well as our own. So please make sure, if you have not read both books, go do that, and then run back here because we're days away from Onyx Storm, and we don't want to spoil any of the fun, drama, suffering, pain for you.
It is literally 2 weeks today of recording date, obviously not post date, until the release of Onyx Storm, and we cannot freaking wait. As you know, all things throughout the Empyrean series are, a little mature. There's violence, there's death, there's weapons, there's a lot going on here. And Callie and I are also adults. We are going to be talking about all the things in these books, and we swear a lot. It's just who we are. It's fine. But with that, we are rating this episode rated R.
Rated R for Revolution. With that, Montana, are you ready to join the revolution? A few more times before we go into Onyx Storm.
I'm so ready.
So ready.
Oh my gosh. With the theories that we've been talking about lately and just with how soon it's coming up, I can't wait and it's going to be so good. But before we get too distracted, what era are you in today?
Ooh, okay. Kind of in two, and these are really gonna shock you.
Okay.
Okay, so folklore.
Okay.
And red.
When you said it's going to shock me, I was like, she's going to say red.
I have been, earlier when I was working and whatever and taking notes, I was just like playing like my 2024 like recap playlist because it has like a little bit of everything, but obviously so much Taylor Swift, and like All Too Well popped on, and I was just like, yes, I need the 10-minute version in my life right now. Thank you, Taylor, for giving us that. Listen to the whole thing. It was fantastic. Had a little jam sesh. Felt revived. It was great.
Love it.
Mm-hmm. What era are you in?
I don't really know because I feel like I'm all over the place. When I was getting ready, I was actually like, I was listening to like the Rolling Stones and Pearl Jam. Like I'm just like in a very like classic rock kind of mood right now. So I was like, I don't know, kind of feeling like Reputation, kind of feeling 1989. I'm in my Eras Tour era today.
You're vibing. I feel like, Taylor Swift era aside, we are about to be entering our zaddy villain era, and
Oh my god,
don't even know how to handle it. Our timing was a little rough because of like how 2024 ended, but it's honestly working out to our favor. I mean, we're like jam packing this in for sure, but I feel like because it is so close to when Onyx Storm is coming out, that it's like getting me that much more excited. Like I haven't been this excited for a book probably since Iron Flame came out. I'm so pumped.
That's been a while.
It's been a while. I just am so excited. I know we've had like so many good books that we've added to our shelves in the last several months, but like I'm pumped to read it, and I just feel rejuvenated for the new year.
It's a really good way to start off the year.
Is it though? I'm like, we're starting off the year with pain and suffering. Like we know that this book is going to make us cry and be pissed off, and yet here we are, like thrilled about it, giddy, kicking my feet.
We're starting off in the best bookish way possible by being really upset the rest of the year and probably well into 2026 until we get book
Oh,
number
yeah.
4.
I think it's going to be a minute before we get book 4. So it's
She did
like,
say she's taking a break after the book she's working on right now,
yes,
so.
yes, it's going to
And
be a
she
hot
needs it,
minute.
man.
She has been
She needs it.
busy. I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Oh, I'm so excited.
Mm-mm. Oh, Rebecca, we love you. We're so thankful for this series and all of your other books that you have released. With that, Callie, what is our episode monologue? I'm supposed to scream a
Scream a scrump.
scrumped.
You can't say it because now it's not going to happen. And then it's like,
It's gonna
awkward,
happen.
awkward turtle. Do you remember that? Like when people did that with their.
I
Okay.
do. Let's
It's
age
long.
ourselves.
Again, we do that a lot. Okay. Okay.
It's okay. I'm ready. I'm buckled up. I have my drink and I'm ready.
Chapter 41 through 44, summary, let's go. Chapter 41, nobody puts baby in the corner. And Violet is really pissed off that Xaden would even think she would sit by and not do something that is completely in her control. So they all make nice and share introductions with Count Chocula, who then tells them to get changed for dinner. Violet senses how familiar this place is to Xaden, only to learn that Kitty Cat is the Count's niece, and he has spent a number of days in this very palace. Woo-wee! Zara, the nice lady's maid, helps Violet change into a slutty black number while Vi questions her on the Count's intentions. Though she won't actually be kidnapped by Chocula himself, he will do everything in his power to persuade her to stay with him. It's giving creepy uncle vibes. After everyone changes, the Count takes them all to an arena to watch Violet wield her lightning. Inside the arena, a chest, which was once a prized possession of Daddy Ryerson, is presented. Violet is asked to crack the chest with her lightning strikes, but before she can, out pops a weasel. Chapter 42. Clearly not a weasel, a venin. Cue Red Foreman, dumbass. Now, Mira and Violet try to fight off the venin while also not being drained by it. Mira is the first to attack, throwing daggers left and right, but when the venin reaches for the ground, Mira uses her beast blocker and shields them from the evil weasel. Brennan, the pussy, kind of, helps by throwing in more daggers, but stays back to pull Mira to safety. Violet then gives the weasel an electrified bath and puts him to sleep for good. A little extra lavender won't hurt, right? After the fight, Zaddy has Count Chocula in a shadowy chokehold. They all hash out the terms of trade and make a very unfair trade for the glowy thing. Chapter 43. Now with nearly 100 Griffin Flyers in their ranks, the squads make their way up the narrowest windy path up Mount Kilimanjaro. Or something like that. The hike is deadly, especially for the flying lions, who can't handle getting high. So dumb.
I mean,
they can't handle getting high. Sorry. When they near the top, they must jump across the trap, but when Lulu jumps and triggers the trap, Riddick is hit with flying arrows, and Lulu sends Vizia, and herself over the edge. Violet manages to save self-sufficient Vizia, but Lulu Bell sadly falls over the cliff edge from her pure stupidity. This is just brutal. That's so mean to say. It's not her fault. Chapter 44. Violet calls for Brennan's magic wand to heal Riddick. In the meantime, the flying T-Rexes show up and are attacking everyone on the cliffside. Violet leaps, more like gradually, takes her time, and steps onto Terran's back carefully, and takes to the sky to distract the wyvern. They circle around and around, and when all the wyvern are inside the cloud coverage, Violet strikes and smokes them all like kebabs. As they fall to the valley floor, Tarn lands, and they discuss the matter of the new dragon nursery and how they are now the center bullseye of a giant target for all the evil weasels.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
That is so much to unpack. I don't even know where to start. Can we
It was
can we talk
honestly
about
a
the
lot.
flying T-Rexes?
Okay, but like, are they not? Technically, they only have 2 legs. So if you really think about it, T-Rexes kind of only have 2 that are like working.
Could you imagine the wyvern? They're these big, scary things, and all of a sudden you see their little arms.
Dee, 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 dee. They're like, I'm gonna get you.
I have big head and little arms.
Ooh, you gotta be quicker than that. I
And then
can't.
calling Luella Lulu. Shout
She's
out
delicious.
Corey. Fuck
I
you,
know.
Lulu.
Fuck you, Lulu. Lulu Bell. Count Chocula is probably my favorite.
I I can't. I count, and then the big shiny thing or the glowy thing. I'm like, yep,
The glowy
yep,
thing.
that's a luminary. Yep.
Yeah. We don't have real terms in the quick summaries, okay? The monologue is
No,
for the funny bits.
and
It's
I
just
am so thankful for it.
imagining, like, if I'm trying to explain this book to my husband.
Yeah, got to keep him
Because,
interested at least.
yeah, I mean, he'd be like, luminary, what's that? Like, don't ask questions. It's a glowy thing, okay?
It's important. That's all you need to know.
It's very important. And the venin, they're like evil weasels. And the wyvern,
Pop goes the weasel.
T-Rexes, flying T-Rexes.
Wait. Okay, T-Rex flying, itty bitty arms, weasel on its back.
Someone please draw this for us.
Calling all
Not
artists.
not artistic in that way. We need this drawn
Flying
out for us.
T-Rexes. Okay, but if I'm going to put in a special request for this, I really want the flying T-Rexes to be like upright, like their wings going this way instead of them like leaning forward and flying. So you can like see
So
their
you can
little
see their
arms as they're
T-Rex
just like
arms. Yes.
flapping, and then like the weasel's like on its head. Just
Tiny.
saying.
Now I'm picturing like a flying Pumbaa in Timon because like a weasel so small.
My head was in Dragon Tales, so
Oh. Oh my god.
Dragon Tales, Dragon Tales.
Let's all go. Oh, that's a good one. Shows that our
Oh,
children miss out on because they were just born at the wrong time. Right
it's
time.
fine.
You know what I mean.
I do. I do. We're gonna be a little unhinged here more than we already are if we keep going. So let's skedaddle on into chapter 41. What is our summary?
Okay. Zayden is not pleased. Zayden is not pleased to see Zayden.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe he doesn't like looking in the mirror.
That's not it. He definitely likes looking in the mirror. Try that again. Okay. Chapter 41. Zayden is not pleased to see Violet, but I think Violet is even more frustrated to find Zayden in Corden. After being introduced to Viscount Takaris, Violet senses that Zayden seems eerily familiar with this place. When Kat, Zayden's ex, is also reintroduced, Violet puts the pieces together and is mad at Zayden for not telling her the full truth. Yet again. Everyone is taken to change out their flight leathers and into evening wear for dinner and the show that Violet will put on for Takaris. While dressing, she learns from Zara that the Viscount has never kept anyone against their will, but is very convincing in getting people to want to stay with him. Serena joins them at dinner, and tensions rise between Mira and Serena. After dinner, Takaris invites everyone to the arena where he presents the Ribestad chest. Is that how we say that? Which is a priceless piece that was once used to form an alliance between Fenrirson and Takaris. The Viscount states his terms: Violet must strike the chest with her lightning, and then they can discuss the luminary. Violet doesn't hesitate and heads down into the arena before Zayden can stop her. As she steps onto the field, the chest is opened up to reveal one angry venin trapped inside. Ugh.
No.
Just no.
No.
The amount of times that she's just like casually run into venin. I have questions. These chapters like had me reeling all over again. Like, what do you mean top line? We'll get into it. Let's get into it. I need air you to read this excerpt though.
Well, I won't suffocate you.
Thank you.
Having refused every proposal from the Isle Kingdoms, Queen Mariah has named her distant cousin, Viscount Takaris of Corden, as her heir. As the Viscount is living in his 5th decade and has no direct heirs of his own, the decision has not been a popular one. On the Aristocracy of Poromio by Pearson Keto. Okay, so Queen Mariah, where are you? Like, you obviously gotta be dead or not fit to be queen anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But why a distant cousin?
It's
Why
random.
Takaris?
So very random. And then we have
Yeah.
a little bit of the Isle Kingdoms again.
Mm-hmm.
Why? And then we have whoever is publishing this, Pearson Keto. Are you?
That's what I want to know.
Like, who are you? Who gave you a title and put you in this book? I don't understand. Queen Mariah. I don't know. I think it's strange to think of all of your bloodline, you would go that far out. It's
Right.
not a first cousin. This is a distant cousin. So,
Right.
like, do they just mean in distance or like a third cousin? Twice removed.
This family drama is about to get messy. I just need Rebecca to give us a full glossary of every single character with her intended pronunciation, since it's so controversial. And I know we say half the things how she intended and half of them not. And it's just like, there is so much to unpack here. But also, like, pronunciation, how they fit into where, what book they're in, even if it's like one time, I still want to know who they are.
Can you please just put this all together? That's what I was saying last episode. Like, I need a big family tree. Even if they're like way over here on their own little limb. Put them in here so I know what's happening.
Literally. If they're like a weed growing next to the tree.
But then, like, this little bit on he's living in his 5th decade and has no direct heirs of his own. So why would you pick him? Because now then...
again, like, there's so many questions here.
Like, it's just so random. So very random. But then we jump right in.
And one of the things...
Oh,
yeah. Well, it has to do with this chapter. Is one of the things that he does say in this chapter that, I kind of made note of, and I am skipping ahead of myself a little bit here, but he's talking about how he, he's very persuasive. He knows how to, like, offer people what they want and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But did he use that on her? Did he use a persuasion to land this role of power with her? Like, what does he have on her?
It's very possible. I'm interested to see, because I feel like by the end of this book, like, we don't get all that we're going to get of him. I feel like there's more to come.
100%.
So much more to come from him. So, I don't know. And then the relationship with his nieces.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just feels all very strangely meshed together.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have the answers yet. I will hopefully one day. Maybe after book 5.
Maybe one day. But where you left me? Well, Zayden, you were not where I last left you. So where are you? You're not where I last left you, sir.
Nobody puts baby in the corner. You don't get to tell me where to be, when to be there. I'm not your pet for safekeeping. No. I like that they're both pissed.
Yeah.
Like, there's no right or wrong here. They're both mad. They're both being secretive. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, for what? You have the same goal in the end, but one of you just wants it sooner than the other.
Yeah, one is I see both sides. Like, yeah, he knows Takaris a lot more intimately than he led on. So Violet's not
Yes.
understanding that, he's like really understanding what could go wrong here. And she's like, why would you just not go get the freaking luminary?
Yeah, I mean I agree completely that he but that's part of it. And this whole book is them back and forth of, well, I can't trust you and you don't tell me everything, and the back and
Right.
forth, and it does get so frustrating. It's just like, okay, get over it. And then, you go from her almost dying and him saving her and we're in love again and now we're back in a relation, everything's hunky-dory, to okay, now we both lied again. But I feel like she lied and was like naive about it. I don't know if naive's the right word. You don't know what you don't
She
know.
is naive about the whole situation,
Yeah,
but
but
it's
I mean, you
also
don't know what you don't
she was
know.
not given that information.
Yeah, and so I feel like his lie is worse because you could have just disclosed this information and what you know about him, as far as him being that persuasive and being the one to read
Yeah.
into like deepest desires, like what you would like. And I'm just like, why did you not tell her these things? You're so
Yeah.
frustrating,
Like,
Xander.
you're saying that you don't want her to go, that you want to protect her, but at the same time, tell her why. You owe her
Tell
that
the
much.
You do at this point, especially. And then
Yeah.
we have, Big Brother here, who
Mm-hmm.
really tries to stick it to Zayden because, Zayden is pissed off. He's like, I can't believe you brought her. And he's just like, I can't believe you think you outrank me. Oh, I love Brennan.
Like,
He
wow.
cracks me up.
Yeah. Zayden is just kind of a sasshole, but you know what? I'm glad that he was there for what obviously all happens, and it's fine. They're gonna figure
It's
their
fine.
shit out, and it's just really fucking annoying how they go so back and forth, but it's finally time to go in and meet Chikaris.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
I thought it was a little funny because it says his impossibly white teeth. I'm like, that just sounds like so scary. Like, overly white teeth can be like, oh, what's wrong with your face? Like, you don't look normal. But I don't even know why. I just imagine him as this like pudgy little fat faced, super round headed man, just like, ooh, hee, I'm so maniacal.
Like a glutton almost, because
Mm-hmm.
he is like, he can't have enough of these prized possessions. It doesn't matter if they're things or people. He's literally a
Yeah.
glutton. And then on
Mm-hmm.
top of that, he's got to be just like, almost like, I mean, when you say creepy uncle, like, I think like not dirty, but like greasy and like lavishly oily, like gross though. Like, you're
Mm-hmm.
disgusted, but like he thinks it looks good. You're like,
Yeah.
ugh, why do you look like that? Why are your teeth so white?
It's too
Shining.
much. You're
My shiny
doing
teeth,
too
Sandy.
much. Okay, Chip Skylark.
Thank you. Thank you.
But as we're in here and he's like, oh, uh you, Violet, it's you that I'm most curious about, and I'm so excited to meet you, but we're gonna have dinner and blah blah blah. And don't worry, like, my nieces are going to help you. And she's like, of course, uncle. Don't mind me being his ex-girlfriend.
Hi, let me help you pick out a dress. Black?
And
Are
then
you
make you feel
sure?
like shit.
Do you want a color? You should add some
Not a
color.
girl's girl.
Not a girl's
Not a girl's girl.
girl. I fucking hate Cat. she pisses me off so much.
But it's kind of funny though, because it literally in our page break after we realize that Kat's there, we understand why Zayden's been there so much, and he says, "I didn't expect you to be here," but it's described as a clipped, cold tone. I'm like, whoa, he's not playing. He is like, this is my woman now. Back up.
Yup.
I'm here for it.
He's gonna stand up for her. I mean, it takes. Oops, sorry. It takes a while for Violet still and Kat. Like Violet still feels uncomfortable. Kat still feels like she has ownership.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so long, and then they even talk about it. Like their relationship ended a while ago, and yet
Yeah.
still Kat acts like, "Oh yeah, no, we're like just broke up 2 months ago." No, they've been together for almost a year.
I mean, I get it with the proposition that is being put out there. And so she's still holding out hope. And
Yeah.
Zayden's like, well, you know what? I'm going to use this opportunity to prove to you that your hope is squandered. I'm done with you. You can stop sizing me up with your eyes. Like, ew, I don't want you to look at me like that. Bye.
I think their relationship, which is also stuff I want more background into, because
Mm-hmm.
at what point did you establish a room at the palace?
And
What?
why?
I just need answers. But obviously, like the relationship between Ben and Takaris, there was a lot there. So
Yeah.
those are the answers that we need. But I'm like, a room? You have your own room?
You
Gross,
have your
Zayden.
own room. Gross. I mean, at least it's not in her room.
True. You could come to my
It is
room
a
and
little
get
bit better.
dressed. Your toothbrush is still in there. Oh God.
Oh. Well, and the fact that, you know, Kat is messing with her head. Zayden is being over the top to the point she's like, you sound like Dane. Knock it off. Violet's got a
Mm-hmm.
lot of emotions going on from her man's and her man's ex-girlfriend. Like, that's a lot to handle. And you're expected to understand what
Right.
the Viscount wants from you and wield, and it's a lot going
I feel
on.
like the main concern going into this entire thing should be what Takaris wants. And right now it's like
Literally.
so focused on the drama between Zayden and Kat and her that I'm
Yeah.
like, you're expending so much energy just to like fight with Zayden, shield Zayden out. I just like stop because worse things are coming. Worse things are
No, for
definitely coming.
real.
Way worse.
I will appreciate the absolute honesty that Zara provides, though, because being that she works for Takaris, you probably wouldn't expect such upfront honesty from someone
Mm-hmm.
under his, leadership. And she's telling her, like, well, she's telling her everything, like we just recently in the last few years stopped trading with the Isle Kingdoms. It's, the merchants have decided it's too dangerous, but the Viscount likes to keep all the most exquisite things for himself. So keep that in mind. But no, he doesn't keep people against their will, but he's going to try and propose to you a thing that will tempt you to stay. And eventually, everyone that he wants stays here for some reason, whatever he offers. And it's like, oh, what is this man going to offer that could really make her just agree to stay when everything she has is everywhere else but here?
Mm-hmm. It seems like such a big ask too, because I mean
Mm-hmm.
we know it from like Farish, like, oh well, what are you afraid of, or what's your weakness? Like, oh well, your loved ones. Like, you just want your loved ones safe. So Takaris can't promise her that. He can't tell her.
No.
Like, the whole point of this is that he doesn't know either, and he needs his flyers to go and join this alliance and form a new army so that they can defeat the Venin. So really, he has nothing to offer. So at this point, it's like it would just be wildly unexpected for her to be like, oh yeah, that sounds great, I'm gonna stay for whatever,
Right.
but obviously it doesn't get to that point, but it's interesting. And then having the little tidbits on, how he's collecting things from the Isles, and again with these goddamn Isle kingdoms,
These
that I'm like,
Isles. Yeah.
what do you mean? What are you collecting from there? And then these people, and then what do you do with them? Where are these people
Yeah.
at?
Like, what do you expect? Yeah.
I have questions. Kat
It's
coming in, and this is she is taking jabs, which, mind you, Mira looks gorgeous. She's put on a little number. She looks phenomenal. Violet is literally stunning. Low back dress, shows her relic, just never looked more stunning in her life. And she's coming in here just throwing hate where hate does not need to be thrown. And she's trying to take jabs at her of like what she's wearing. And then, saying, where did that just go? It was in the middle of this page somewhere.
He wouldn't be if he thought you were strong enough to stand at his side.
Yep, there it is.
So Serena is with her.
Oh, yeah. And then we have Serena who comes in, which we know Serena. We like Serena. So we have Serena joining the party. And she's coming in and, trying to stick up for Violet here. And she's like, stop being a wretch, Kat. Cousin love. But she's like, he does get a bit protective, doesn't he? Kat, he wouldn't need to be if he thought you were strong enough to stand at his side. Okay, diss my dress all you fucking want. Do not ever diss my power. Bitch.
It's the fact that she's saying such nasty things in such a nonchalant way. Well, he doesn't think you're strong. Are you sure you want a black dress? Xaden really doesn't like the monotone aspect of Basquiat. And he's told me that before, because obviously me and Xaden have very intimate history. Oh, and Zara couldn't do more with your hair. Shame that she left it down. And we're over here like, but Xaden said if you ever want to win an argument, just bring the hair down. So.
Literally. Try again, Kat. Try again.
You don't fucking know, but all it's doing is pissing Violet off to the point that she's like, what is going on with me? Why am I filled with so much rage and so much doubt? I don't get it. I have a lot of feelings. And Kat's like, she doesn't even go here.
She doesn't even go here. Doubt. Don't doubt it. Being pretty doesn't save you at Basquiat, so it doesn't really fucking matter. But my power does, and the lightning I wield will. And what can you do, Kat? What can you do?
I mean, well, she kind of fucks with our heads. And it sucks learning that she can heighten emotions. Not cool.
But we're getting to that.
I know.
I like.
Tard makes me laugh, though, because Violet's so pissed. She's ready to kill her. And he says, it would be a pity to kill her now. I'm hunting 10 minutes away, and I'd hate to miss the show.
He's the best.
He's so funny.
Just when we need him to come in. Like, and then there's that dreaded line.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
tell me.
I can't. Now they go to dinner, and she enters this immaculate room. Across the room, there's these big, huge window doors that are opened up to the patio. Just stunning. There's people everywhere, but at the head of the table is none other than Xaden, of course. And just, I can't. Like, why do you make me melt? I locate him within a heartbeat because he's the center of my gravity. But what does it mean?
If this theory about gravity being that excerpt, gravity is what
Yep.
usually takes most writers, and we think, well, yeah, because of
Mhm.
their dragons, but also she's saying he's the center of my gravity. If that goes hand in hand with the one that you had pointed out during Fourth Wing about how he always says, "You'll be the death of me," violence.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, now we're essentially saying we're going to be the death of each other.
I just don't want it. The like, because then there's like all you add on to that. Well, Rebecca said that they're end game. Okay, well, end game doesn't mean happily
They
ever
live.
after. End
Mm-hmm.
game just means they loved each other till the very end of
Till
their
someone died.
lives.
Yeah.
And now it's the notebook of them just like in bed together, dying in each other's arms. So
Oh, that's such a sad movie.
it is such a sad movie. That was
It's a really
like
good one, though.
the book that I carried around all through high school. Like the spine was like completely in half at one point, and it was just like two halves of the book.
Fun fact, that's one of my husband's favorite movies.
Is it really? That's so funny.
It is.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite books to read. I loved it. But no, I don't want either one of them
I
to die at all. This is not what we're doing.
no. No. But just to be Xaden and to really make his point,
Mm-hmm.
he comes she comes in and he sees her and he immediately is like, nope, no more conversation. I am not sitting at the table anymore. I'm going up to her and we are just smooching. And it's not like oh hey, you look so beautiful like a normal person would do. No, we have to have a full blown, what is it with them and the most like not
Oftentimes, to
perfect
just like
ideal
make out,
places for these things.
they have got to make everyone around them feel so awkward and uncomfortable. Like you were
It's that
literally,
PDA couple where you're like, ew.
yeah, you're like, okay, that was cute for like 2 seconds, but like, please stop making out. I can hear it and I can see it, and I don't
Ugh.
like it.
Ew,
Yeah.
the noises. That just kills me.
I hope they're not gross about it. I mean, I would imagine not, but it's really hard to know. Anyway, he walks over and he gives the best line though, because he says, "That dress, you're playing dirty violence."
The dress that she was just questioning. Should I have worn color? Why did I choose black? Well, because you
Because
know what looks good and you know what Zayden's gonna like.
I like that they pretend to fight for a minute. They're like, "Yeah, well, I'm still mad. Well, me too. Okay, sure you are."
Well, fine. Be mad then.
It's possible to be angry while still madly, wildly, uncontrollably in love with me. I just thought that was sweet. Okay.
Okay. Okay. But uncharacteristic of Zayden here. Going down farther in the page. So, I know I kind of jumped ahead and explained Kat's mind work
Yes,
abilities that
yes,
she can heighten emotions. But
yes.
going farther down this page, he says, I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. Sorry that I've been overreacting since pulling you out of the interrogation chamber. Hell, since Resson. Once the Gale told me they were torturing you and I couldn't get to you. Ugh, I can't fucking breathe when you're in danger, but that's not your fault. I should have brought you here when you asked me to. Like, whoa. Whoa. We have barely even started to scratch the surface of this conversation, and now you're just like, nope, it's fine. I was wrong. You were right. Done.
Handled it. But also, when a
It's like,
man
who
can
are you?
admit when he is wrong and then apologize and like own it, not like half-ass, like
Mm-hmm.
sorry I upset you, sorry that hurt your
Yeah,
feelings. No, he's like, this is what I did, this is why I did what I did, and I'm sorry. Like, should have done what you asked. You
that's the
aren't fucking
dream.
wrong.
That is the literal dream right there.
It's the dream right there. It kills me.
But just
Him
also, like,
explaining
how. Well, yeah, explaining why.
Him explaining Kat's gift, though, even that alone, like before the proclamation of love and all the big apology, him even doing that to me was like, okay, we're on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Kat is over there. It's me and you. I wish you would have told me that 5 minutes ago before I went to change. Again, like I should have done what you asked. I should have just told you right away.
It's the whole, I tried telling you, I wanted to, but you had me so blocked out. And that's how Kat got in, because she was so focused on keeping Xaden out that it didn't matter that Kat snuck in.
Mm-hmm. Their damn mind work is crazy good too. For being like not having like a physical signet that they can, do this or that. Their mind work is above none, and it is scary. Scary shit.
Well, we even have cool. It is. And, we have the Viscount. He's like, look, you two can stop. I need you a part of this conversation because you are crucial to all of this. And he starts turning and talking to Violet. And, he's like, word traveled fast when you ruined that little war college of yours. He says, split the quadrant right down the middle. Bravo. Been trying to take that place down for years, and you did it in what, 6 days? Okay, what the hell do you mean? You've been trying to break this place down for years. What have you been doing?
Okay, but then also feeding into that, why the fuck do you have a venin? And why, how are you capturing them? Obviously, this chest is what kept it, but like, you're talking about how you're going to the border near the barrens.
Yeah.
Because the land is already wasted away. Like, what are you doing? So for years, you've been capturing them, studying them, using them for your gain. I got lots of questions.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
It's a little weird. And, he's like, well, it's not quite time for this all yet. We're just going to move on out here because I really want to see her wield lightning. Like, look at this cutie little arena that we have. No big deal. Oh, yeah, Xaden.
Casual.
Yeah, I guess that is your dad's chest, huh? Well, I'm going to have her hit it with her lightning. No big, though. No big. It's fine. Just get a move on.
It's not personal. Don't take it personally. That's what that feels like. Don't take it personally.
It is. It's the fact that, Violet's like, tell me what we're talking about. And he says, the chest and everything represents an alliance my father made that I officially denied last year. And now that we know what that alliance is, and Kat still has hope for that. Yeah, this chest is priceless. If he wants to destroy it with lightning, then this is more a statement about me and less about you. Like, really, again, using her against him. Mm-hmm. Obnoxious.
Gross.
Obnoxious
behavior.
It is.
You don't have to protect me from my own signet. If he wants me to blow up your father's chest, I'll blow up your father's chest. She kills me. I'm like, yes, go, Violet, go. But then having the whole, okay, but Xaden can't be in there with you. You have to do this by yourself. And Mira and Brennan are like, fuck that. Watch this. Siblings on a roll. Thank you.
I'm going to pretend like I'm not her brother, but I am here. And we are in this together. What the fuck is that guy doing? Does he have a key? Whoa. Chest is opening up. Guards are running.
Maroon.
And a venin pops out.
A maroon tunic this time. Trousers are tattered like he's been kept prisoner for weeks. Weeks? Okay. Uh-huh. No, I don't want it. Never mind. I'm going to leave now.
Why the fuck do you have a venin? And why are you wanting her to put herself in danger with this lightning to kill it? That's what I want to know.
Well, and you're like so adamant that you want to see her wield lightning and see the power that she has, but then at the same time, you're like literally putting her, like, she
In
could
this
die.
danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. But again, like, this is a person that has so much wealth and possessions and power that it's just
Yeah.
like a little game. He's like, okay, cool. Let's see
He
if we
doesn't
can do
care.
it. He doesn't care.
Yeah. And that's chapter 41.
That's a wild one.
Just what an end to chapter 41. So intense. It's crazy. But what is our chapter 42 summary?
I don't want to. Chapter 42. As the venom emerges, Violet and Mira panic, and now they and how. Nope, starting that over. Chapter 42. As the venom emerges, Violet and Mira panic and know they can't outrun him. Mira attacks first, throwing her daggers, but when that doesn't work, the venom reaches for the ground. Now they are sitting ducks, and Mira must use her shields to block him out. Although successful, Mira is now drained, so Violet calls for help from Brennan. Brennan comes and gets Mira and tosses Violet some more daggers. Violet forms a new plan. Oh, God. As she waits and waits and waits for the right moment, she launches her final two daggers, pinning the venom to the ground. As the water from the rain pools around him, Violet strikes the water with her lightning, killing the venom. As she heads back up to talk to Takaris, she finds him suspended in the air by Zayden's shadows. Takaris tells them about the chest magic and how it keeps things contained and suspended in the air while inside. He also finally negotiates a deal with the squad, but it is not at all what any of them expected. I'm tired of finding venin.
And we're just getting started.
So tired. Like, physically exhausted, okay? Clearly, I'm fighting them.
Obviously. Our excerpt just irritates the hell out of me. Though her extraordinary signet allows her to extend the wards around herself and her dragon, Cadet Sorengale lacks the consistent ability to produce her own wards without extreme emotional distress. I'm sorry to report I doubt this ability will develop in time. I had such hopes for her. This is all from Professor Carr to General Sorengale. But knowing what we know about Carr not teaching Violet properly, I'm like, well, clearly you didn't fucking teach Mira properly because you're a dumbass and we don't fucking like you. So get the fuck out of here with your, oh, I had such high hopes for her. Okay, yes, it does take her some emotional distress in this chapter to figure her shit out, but still.
I just feel like if you would have started small, like Violet needed to do, then why, like, how is she able to extend so far out but can't just shield herself? Makes no sense. Professor Carr is a piece of shit.
I don't, it's like, yeah, okay, it says that she can extend the wards around herself and her dragon. That's humongous. That's awesome. Yes, ideally you would want her to be able to extend them enough to protect a whole riot or whatever it is, but like, okay, start with shielding your face and then your body and work into getting tiny and there and like, okay, then another person and then another dragon. Like, really, it's not fucking hard. We act like we have these techniques and we can do them, but still, it just seems like fucking common knowledge and logic. With anything, you start small and you grow with as you learn, and he hasn't let them do that. He's holding them back, and it's like you want more control over their power.
But the comment too, like, I had such hopes for her. Rude, first of all, because we have all the hope for Mara. She's gonna do. She did. She's gonna do great things. So don't even. And then poor Mira is now standing feet away from a freaking venin who, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, like, how much time has passed? Not that much. Didn't even know this was a real thing. And now suddenly she's standing right in front of one. And she's like, is that what I think it is. Sadly,
Yeah, I've never
Violet
seen one
is
before.
well experienced in venom, and she's like, "Yep, that's it. There it is, right there, in
Mm-hmm.
the rotting flesh." Poor girl.
I It's the fact that, this venin takes a guard and is using it as a shield. Mira throws a dagger before Violet can get enough out to tell her, hey, those aren't going to work. And now you gave the venin a fucking knife. Let the one who's actually
Now,
fought them and knows about them.
I mean, they can't like sit down and have a conversation and be like, "Hey, so this is what we're gonna do." And writer instinct is to just react, like, "Oh,
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
quick with a dagger." So I get it, but I'm
Yeah.
also like but it's like the sarcasm that comes with the comment of, "Great, now he's a fucking knife."
Okay, this is kind of funny, but there's a Family Guy episode where a bat gets into their house and uh Peter has like a gun on a remote control helicopter and it's just like supposed to go off and he's trying to shoot the bat. He's like, great, now the bat has a knife and a gun. She's like, what do you mean he has a knife? He's like, well, I don't want him to be unarmed.
Fair
So
fight, man. Fair
great, now
fight.
the venom has a knife and the bat has a knife and a gun.
Oh my gosh. Great. The bat has a knife and a gun.
But this venom, Violet wields lightning, obviously misses, and he goes, it's you, the one who commands the sky. Oh, how I'll be rewarded when I return with you. And she's like, oh, like, you must have been sent by your sage. And he goes, which sage? What do you mean, which sage? Which sage? The whole, I promise you'll wish for death? Already heard it. I killed that messenger too. Okay, yeah, really a good time to be cocky, Violet? Is that really what we're going for right now? I don't know, but I have so many questions because obviously there's not just going to be like, we learn later in this book that there's like different levels of venin and they don't know much past the sage. So obviously there's multiple sages. But like, are we talking about her dad still? Because Liz is like, her dad's the sage.
Yeah.
Ah!
It's hard to know because, well, and then like we've talked about, like with, like, is Melgren a venin and a
Right.
sage? So like, are you being rewarded in a way that is like because you're bringing this prisoner, or because in this context too, like, oh, the one who commands the sky, oh, how I'll be rewarded when I return with you. It's not, oh, I'm here to kill you. It's not, I can't wait for
I
him
have
to
to
kill you.
take
It's
you.
like, I have to take you. So is it because, yeah, your dad wants to see you, Melgren wants to kill you, like some random ass
Are they only
sage
wanting
you don't
her for
know?
her signet because she's the first lightning wielder in how long and they want to use her as a weapon? Like, what is happening?
I don't know. And then you get into, oh, okay, no, not going there. We're gonna be done with that thought.
Oh gosh.
Using her as a weapon just got me like reeling for a minute because now I'm like, oh god, like thinking about how this book ends and then where's
Using
Zayden
her as a weapon against Zayden.
Well, and just using Zayden against her.
Each of them.
Yeah. Because not only is he already super deadly, but then you throw in extra power of being a venin. I don't like it.
No.
The evil that they are. The evil weasels.
Evil weasels. And we're not dressed in our flight leathers. We're dressed in gowns. We're outside in this stadium. It's raining, so that doesn't fucking help. And Brennan's like, oh, this is not good. I'm going to jump in here and join you. So Zayden's gonna throw in some daggers. I'm gonna help because if Zayden comes in, then we're gonna lose that deal altogether. But this is terrifying.
It's
And
absolutely terrifying.
the fact that the venin starts to channel from the ground, and especially Mira does not fully understand that the danger that they're in as he's doing this. All of this is just like going completely desolate around them. And Brennan's freaking out. He's like, Mira, you need to shield. If you want to save our lives, if you don't want us to fucking die right now, you need to shield us. And I mean, she does.
In my mind, though, this arena, I mean, it's probably bigger than I'm imagining, but in my mind, because of how quickly Brennan, like, is there and is like, okay, I'm jumping in too, I'm like, there gotta be, like, 5 feet from, like, the edge, right? Can you just hop back over there? I don't
Well,
know.
it said because it's a whole arena. All this like it's like a stadium, and the chairs and the
Yes,
seating is made out of that rock, so it's got to be
right.
huge.
It is
But
huge, but I'm saying,
also,
like, isn't, like I'm not picturing her in the middle. I'm picturing the chest in the very middle and them like towards
right?
the edge, which is why it throws me because I'm like, just run to the edge. But like because and it probably just doesn't even matter because the way that they pull from the ground, it just happens so quickly that yeah, you can't outrun it. So
Yeah.
thankfully, Mira pulls out one for the team. She gets her shield up. They're saved because oh my god! But the order that Zayden gives, the order I'm
Mm-hmm.
ordering you. You will live. Oh, that gave me goosebumps. I was like, oh God, I forgot. It's just so emotional.
You're like, yep. Trying my best. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. All of this to say that Brennan and Mira make it out just barely, and Brennan is like, here, have some extra daggers, you know, these alloy hilted ones, so you can actually fucking do something with it. She's like, okay,
Right?
but still,
Because
how am I gonna do this? But as they're leaving, she notes that the stone was quarried from Ravik, from east of
mm-hmm.
the Dunes River. Isn't that what Takara
Yep.
said? Yes, it is. So, what do we know? It is all vanquished, dead already.
It's desolate. Yeah, it's been drained.
So, Violet forms like
So
literally the most masterful plan.
she
I
does, and
think.
she's understanding. She understands what Takaris has done here, and obviously
Mhm.
we'll get more of that in a little bit. But like, it helps her form this master plan because well, the Venin's not
Mhm.
going to chase her up the rock because it's useless if it can't channel from there.
Mhm.
I mean, it can still fight, but
Created a
like,
barrier.
yeah.
Just so freaking good.
I love that Violet is forming this plan though because she's like noticing things that most people would overlook in such a stressful situation. She's like, okay, the water is starting to build up in this arena. It's raining so hard. We're in puddles now. Mira is passed the fuck out. Brennan, take her to safety. Like, I promise it's going to be fine. Trust me. And she's just waiting. This venin is just inching closer and closer. He says, oh, but you'll be quite the prize. And to think you'll bring a dragon with you. You can't be parted that. You can't be parted for long, can you? What the fuck do you want with our dragon?
Again, like who is the sage that is calling for you? Because you have Wyvern. Why do you need a dragon
Mm-hmm.
too? So who is calling for you? What power are you after here? So many questions. Fuck around. And then you have Tom
mm-hmm.
peeping in because God forbid he can't ever be quiet.
No.
I don't need to stress the importance of timing, do I? My timing will be perfect. I expect nothing less. I'm like, okay, yes, you kind of doubted her for a second, but then you hyped her back up, and that's what we need in this moment because you can't doubt her. She can't doubt herself right now. Like she has
Mm-hmm.
formed a masterful plan, but if it falters even a little, if she stutters and misses where the dagger needs to land, this is all for nothing. So
Yep.
I can't. Oh my god. For her to pin him and then electrocute
By
him,
the feet.
like he's literally pins him at the feet, but electrocutes, like I just, this is a
Mm-hmm.
hairdryer in the bathtub.
It
That's what she
totally
did to
is.
it. And I'm just like, yes!
Such a fantastic plan.
It's brilliant. She's just phenomenal.
She is. And the fact that, you know, Tarn has her, we have Sigale, Tiny, and Marb, and they've all gone to the terrace in a defensive position. They are ready to kill anybody and everyone at this point for doing this to them.
Mm-hmm.
And even Tarn says, I will devour anyone who makes a move against you. My patience has ended. Well, yeah, that's being really generous at this point. The fact that you're not just out here slaying bitches, but he also understands, well, we need that fucking luminary, so I guess I can't kill him quite yet.
I gotta get what I need, and then I'm gonna kill him because I'm pissed. And
At least he's a
if
smart dragon.
he's not gonna do it, Zayden's gonna do it because Zayden is furious.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is hotter than morally gray men. But, you know, like a normal scenario, he's holding him by the throat with his hand. And in this scenario, we have shadows. And I'm just like, ah, Zayden. Kill him for
What's
me,
so
would you?
funny is because this is exactly how we felt when they were in Resin and he starts doing shadow lassos, and we were just like, wow.
Yes. Do it again. Slower.
I mean, honestly, but he's got this dude by the throat, above the ground, his little pudgy self just squirming and kicking and blotchy red face. He is. And Violet's like, look, you can't kill him. Yeah, Zayden's shadows are slipping in the grease.
Ew. Don't make it
But
worse.
Violet's like, look, you can't kill him. We need that luminary first. So let's settle down just a smidge. I love this part of Violence though, because she says, you're lucky you're not dead. If you'd put Zayden in that kind of danger, I'm not sure I would have been as merciful. He says, you call this mercy? And Zayden just says, yes. I'm like, Zayden doesn't show mercy. That was mercy for him.
No, that was definitely mercy. And he was only doing that because, again, you have something I need. So let's do that transaction. And now Takaris is like, oh no, actually, though, I said we would discuss it. That wasn't the trade.
No, fuck you. Fuck you.
The audacity of this man.
Mm-hmm.
This is me, the fuck off. Oh my gosh.
But Zayden making Takaris apologize to Violet, it took me out. I was dying. He's like, apologize. And she's like, no, it's fine. He's like, no. You apologize to her. I'm like, So good. So good. I can't. We have a page break. We're finally starting to actually chat, do what we came here to do. And Violet is not fucking around anymore.
Nope.
I can't. The whole, your power is astounding and you're still untrained. Just think of what you'll be in the next few years from now, or even one. And she's like, well, that doesn't sound like an offer. And she starts getting pissed and she looks at Kat and says, stay out of my head or I'll start wielding inside. Like, we're done. We are not fucking around anymore.
We're so over it.
Fuck you all. Give me the goddamn luminary and we'll leave.
I have a gift for knowing what it is people want. So in this moment, she's, pissed at Kat for trying to come in. But it's really not Kat. It's Takaris creeping in, seeing what motivates her to give up this treasure. And I'm just like, no, No, Takaris, get the fuck out of my head, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, for her to be like, and what do you think my wildest dreams are? Like, girl.
Reputation, Taylor's version.
My wildest dream.
I mean, 1989 too, but that's her wildest dream is that she wants Taylor's version.
Reputation, Taylor's version. Yeah, it is, actually. Mine too. And another Eras tour. But
That
like
we
more
can afford to go
affordable.
to.
Exactly. Actually,
I
though, Takaris says Violet needs peace. Peace
mm-hmm.
for Xaden. And I hate that she, like, plays into it. Like, she could have just really played that off, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you play that off, but it's fine. It's fine. It is rough. What was I saying?
Well, this offering of peace for her and Xaden and her loved ones, saying that after a few years of being his personal guard dog, helping out, whatever, they can just have their own isle and it'll all be hunky-dory after that. And she's like, one, the Isles don't accept Navarians even as visitors, so you're full of shit. But two, that's called running away. This is not actually facing our problems head on, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, haha, I told you no. And he's like, wait, no one in my entire 5 decades has anyone told me no. I'm going to throw a temper tantrum.
Yeah. The luminary is needed. So for her now, what do we do now? Like, now they're coming up with their backup plan. So they're like, well, Brennan, he's like, actually, she already earned the luminary. So
Yeah.
what, are you going back on your deal? Because that doesn't sound like Takaris. Like, calling him out on his own bullshit game.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Going into exchanging the luminary for weapons, supplying the drifts. Oh, but no, that's not enough. Take all of these flyers with you. Bring them back to Erasia, and I want you to train them and work with them and go defeat the venin altogether. Keep them safe. Bitch, these are not my people.
100 more people at Erasia.
I mean, I get it. Like, the
But
goal is that they're here to save everyone, but, like, we don't get along.
right.
Did you
like,
miss that
we've
part?
been mortal enemies for how long? We hate each other up until 5 seconds ago. You're joking me. But he's like, nope.
Absolute joke.
And Brennan's like, no problem. Done deal.
Not even a way to get them there. They can't even fly there. So, but sure, we'll make this happen. No.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Into Mount Kilimanjaro.
All right. Fuck it. What's chapter 43 summary?
Chapter 43. Now the riders and flyers make their way up a narrow path to cross the mountain since the griffins can't fly at high altitudes. On their way up, Violet learns more about the flyers and what their training and conscription day looks like. Meanwhile, Taryn informs Violet that the first hatchling has been born in Erasia, and anyone in a 4-hour radius can sense the shift. Just as they near the top of the pass, a trap is set in the way, and each person must jump across in order to not trip it. With Violet and Luella being the smallest of the group, they form a plan how to make it over. Violet demonstrates, but when it's Luella's turn, she misses the landing and trips the trap, sending arrows flying and hitting Riddick. Not my baby. As she lands on the other side, she collides with Violet and Vizia, sending Vizia over the edge with Luella. Violet grabs a hold of both girls, but is only fortunate enough to save one. I don't even like Luella really, but like, that's a bad way to go. That's not it.
Riddick.
Don't.
Okay. From the dangerous waves of the Arctile Ocean to the lowest plains of the Tirandor Plateau, the cliffs of Draeler rise over 12,000 feet in places, making them unflyable by Griffin. While there are 3 well-carved paths within Navarre to ascend the plateau, along the Crovelin border exists only one, and it is deadly to both Griffin and Flyer. Do not attempt under any circumstances. Chapter 2, The Tactical Guide to Defeating Dragons by Colonel Elijah Jobin. So now we have more texts and tomes from the Flyer side.
Yep.
It's the fact to me that this whole pass has been kept a secret, and I get it. It's extremely dangerous, and if you were using that and your enemies were waiting at the top, well, you're too exhausted. You can't fight. They literally have such an advantage. So, I mean, like, it makes sense. And now here you are. All of you have to walk up this thing and help the Griffins and the Flyers get up and maybe try to like each other. Find some camaraderie here, because what? Make it make sense.
One, going up this, but before they even start, they're all like, okay, this is a fucking joke, right? And then Violet is like talking to Taryn, and she's like, so tell me again, like, why can't just you pluck them up and carry them over? Like, oh yeah, they'd never allow that. Like, absolutely not. But realistically, we're all gonna die instead. So fuck your dignity. Let's get to the other side. Kills me.
I mean, oh well. We've got to do it, and it just is what it is. But, you know, we have to be partnered with Flyers together, and it's like someone from Third Wing makes a good point, like, what, so they can push us off? I mean, this is a huge risk that both sides are taking, and it's a lot of bullshit, but, you know, whatever. Let's just assign Violet's squad to Cat's Drift. No tension whatsoever.
Makes perfect
Why?
sense, don't you think?
It totally does. And, you know, we've got squad leader, boss bitch, Rhiannon, walking with Cat, thank goodness. But Violet's like, okay, well, my best friend has to deal with Cat, so I have to deal with Cat's best friend, Marin. But honestly, Marin, she seems fine.
She's not bad. And she gives us a lot of really valuable information. So, you know,
she does.
She talks more about the Griffins and the struggle, like, to beat their wings. She's not meant for the summit wing drifts. And she's like, wait, what are the summit wing drifts? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, well, those are the ones that are best suited for altitude. Flying the summits of the Espen Range. Oh, got it. She's a lowland girly.
I thought that was so funny.
I know. It's like, yep, girly pop. Going back and forth with all the different clumps of people, though, just. And then you have Sloane thrown in there. And I'm just like, yes. We already have bitchy ass Cat. Violet, who, like, doesn't even want to fucking deal with it. Rhiannon, who's standing up for Violet. And then you have Sloane, who is, you would think, on Cat's side. But really, she's like, oh yeah, you're not that bad. Like, got farther in my journals. Break my heart. Liam's letters have really proved that, okay, if Liam liked you, I guess I liked you. I don't hate you, please. Sweet, sweet babe.
This whole thing is just stressful because, we're going up these ascents that are extremely small, very scary for a griffin to walk up. Like a person scary enough, but a giant griffin, that it's super perilous to them. And
Flying lions.
yeah, I really appreciate the point that they make a little bit later is like, yeah, you're comparing this to your parapet, and yeah, it's super dangerous, but like, you think this isn't dangerous for us? It's dangerous for our griffins. Would you want to put your dragon in imminent danger just to prove yourself? And they're like, oh, well, yeah, kind of point making here. But the whole thing is just super scary, and we've got fucking boulders falling. Tarn's swooping in with his tail just to make it fucking explode. Try and save them as best as he can. But I think it was so funny that Marin's like, is the rock falling normal for parapet? And she's like, what do you mean? Like, Tarn saving my ass or being grumpy? And she's like, oh, no, like, I'm talking about the rocks. But, yeah, him being grumpy is pretty funny, too.
When they're talking about, comparing it to parapet, and then, now, because they are so different. Like, they're very similar. They're both riding this creature, and that's great. And they're gaining a power from that, but also, like, okay, so about parapet. What does your conscription day look like? Like, the fact that she's like, well, we're not out here like trying to kill people. Like, they're shocked to learn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we run and jump off cliffs and land on our griffins, and if you can stay on, then that's your griffin. You've now bonded to this griffin. Great. And they're like, and then if you fall, they're like, oh, you just land in the water. You swim to shore. Try again. What?
Like, you
It's
swim to
that
shore, you
simple?
pick a different quadrant, no big deal. Like, oh, what do you do with the bodies? What fucking bodies? What are
What
you
bodies?
talking about? People don't fucking die. We're
They're
just
like, we're not out
casual
here
here.
killing our cadets, and they're like, oh well, actually, you're only a candidate. You're not even a cadet yet. We value our cadets so low, our candidates so low, that we don't even give them the title of cadet until they have made it across the parapet. And you're telling me
Yep.
that you flyers are out here like, oh yeah, just go do something else then. You're not meant to be a flyer then. Go into, I don't remember what the other ones were, infirmary or
Infantry
auxiliary.
and
Infantry.
artillery.
Yeah. Yeah, try something else. This isn't working out. I'm like,
Yep.
you're thinking there's a job out there that's less stressful. You could be a flyer and it's not as stressful as this?
I
Shocking.
mean,
More
the
shocking.
differences are wild.
More shocking information from our favorite sassy dragon, which is fantastic, but also terrifying. So now we have Erasia's first hatchling, who has chosen to emerge. Okay, great. Violet's like, we have hatchlings! Fantastic! And Tarn's like, if you want to see it that way, I suppose. Wait, what? Why is your tone like that?
It's the fact
What are
that
you
he was like,
asking me?
well, every channeling creature within a 4-hour flight of the valley will know because everyone else there felt it as well. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, they didn't even think about what's to come. They're just like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense why everyone else felt it. Not,
Mm-hmm.
oh shit, we felt it 3 hours away, and Zoli is not that far from here, where the venin are fucking staking out.
Mm-hmm. Too close for comfort.
Okay.
Too close for
Cool, cool.
comfort.
Yeah. But no, we just don't even think about it. And we just continue on, and everyone's pissed and hating it. The griffins are struggling with the altitude. Their feathers are drooping. They have shallow breaths. And you're like, okay, I think we only have an hour left. But, well, now we've got this fucking 6-foot area we need to clear to not set off this trap because we don't know where the arrows are coming out. And we don't know who's going to get hit or if anyone's going to get hurt at all.
I have no idea. So, hey, Riddick, Dane, can you like throw Luella across? Because I mean, she's. Can you throw Violet while you're at it? These two are a little small, right? They might not make it, and Violet is like, "Oh fuck no, you're not throwing me." And Luella's like, rude, like, "Hello, standing right here." And she's like, no disrespect, kind of, but don't touch me. Let me figure out another
Mm-hmm.
plan. Brilliant plan. Again, Violet with her brilliant plans. Hey, let me see that dagger you have there. Let me just use this like we would in Gauntlet. Stab this into that rock and we'll swing across. But oh, who shows
Mm-hmm.
up? None other than Dane. Okay, well, at least you came in good for something here. Here, use this bigger sword. Stick it in there for you. But why? Violet goes. Great, fantastic. Shows you how to do it. Why on earth, girl, can you not hold your weight? You are a flyer. Tell me how you can't hold yourself up there. Swing, swing, swing. You barely make it. I'm confused. I'm pissed and I'm confused. You shot my Riddick,
And
is what you did.
well, we're already putting Riddick in danger, having him climb. Because you're just like, Riddick, are you attached to that sword? He's like, I mean, no. And Dane's like, here, take the short sword. It's going to be a better leverage for you. Climb in there and shove it in this rock. Test your weight. So Riddick is risking his life, potentially setting this trap off. Because if there's something in the walls that's going to set it off too,
Mm-hmm.
we don't
And
know.
if he falls, if
And
that dagger doesn't hold,
yeah,
he falls into the trap and now trips it anyway.
yeah, exactly. So like we're already putting Riddick in danger, but he does it. And yeah, we have our 7-inch hilt. I mean, that's not that much to grab with two hands when you're trying to go for momentum and swing yourself across. It is a very risky move, but it's a genius plan for someone who probably will not make that jump. So we're trying to modify, and the bitch still doesn't fucking make it.
Nope.
Like, you were almost there. And she's just like, no, I'm slipping. Can't do it. Okay, yeah, I made it, but actually I didn't because I just fucking barely. And oh, by the way, I'm gonna just fall into Violet instead of aiming towards the Griffin that was supposed to be my railing. And now we're all falling over the edge. And oopsie poopsie, I set off the trap, and Riddick is fucking shot.
Nope. I mean, if I was Violet, I would be going right to Riddick and like, sorry, Vizia and Luella, I see you sliding over that edge, but like, I can't help you. I gotta save Riddick. I gotta be over
Riddick literally
here.
saves her from
Just
falling.
save
You know,
her.
he grabs her leathers and saves her
Uh-huh. Oh, I
just in
know.
time as everyone else is going, and they're latching on to her. It's the fact that Vicia is. This is the difference in their training. Again, Vicia is like, okay, I'm holding on, but I'm finding a foothold. I'm going to help myself, help you. And then Luella's like, two hands on her arm, like, pull me up, pull me up. No. What? Do some shit for yourself. Act like you actually fucking know what you're doing.
Ugh.
Irritates me. I hate that she has to die. I truly hate that it doesn't work out that she gets saved. But this is her proving that she's the weakest fucking link.
And if we know anything, we don't need you. Like, you got to be able to stand for yourself. If you can't manage, one, clear the crossing, two,
Mm-hmm.
help yourself find a foothold. Like, you're supposed to be, this is what I'm saying, you're supposed to be a flyer. You're supposed to be on a griffin's back anyway. So if you can't even manage to climb up a little measly cliff, yeah, the venin are just going to kill you. You're bound to die anyway. One less to worry about.
So, I mean, I
My
guess
concern
it's a
is
terrible
Riddick,
death.
and so is Violet's. And here we need Brennan right now. That's it. We just need
Because
Brennan.
we've got arrows, 2 arrows protruding from his abdomen.
And blood coming out of his mouth.
Not okay.
Nope.
Not okay. Not okay. Fuck. The last chapter. What is her chapter 44 summary?
Chapter 44. Violet calls for Brennan to mend Riddick. As he gets to work, Violet calls for the wind wielders to clear the sky so the dragons can see. She then mounts Taryn and they take off to defend against the wyvern. She creates a diversion, drawing all the wyvern away from the mountain. Then in a flash, she blasts all the wyvern inside the clouds and kills them all. As they fall to the ground, they land back on the mountain and discuss what this could mean as they are patrolling the area. Since the wyvern are all connected to the venin who create them, they know all that the wyvern know. The new hatching grounds are now at risk, as well as everyone in Eurasia.
We need that wardstone to work and start protecting all the people and the babies.
And we need that luminary so we can have some more weapons right away.
But okay, this part does... Okay, I guess I jumped a little bit ahead of myself in the last chapter. Luella has not actually fallen yet, but she falls, right? And our excerpt says, when a griffin bonds, it does so for life. Guard your life as you would your griffins, for they are forever intertwined. Chapter 1, The Canon of Flyer. Well, Luella is literally not helping herself, and she falls. And Violet, her shoulder is completely dislocated. She literally cannot lift a 100-some-pound girl on a dislocated shoulder, dead weight, hanging over a cliff. Like, no one can fucking do that unless you're, like, you know, giant fucking muscles and lift that normally. But, like, okay, well, but Riddick is the best, and Riddick's currently bleeding out, and he probably still could.
He's struggling right now, though.
He is, and it's just Luella slips, and her poor griffin, who has done nothing wrong, is the one that has to suffer for her being a chicken shit and a pansy. Poor little Sibby. But also, Tarn is over here like, something feels wrong. You know how I told you that there was a hatchling and everyone in a 4-hour radius could feel it? Well, we're not going to talk about it, but something feels really wrong.
We're still not going to talk about it, though. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it eventually, but we're not going to talk about it right now.
Yeah, no, not right now. No big.
Why do you say these things? Poor Sibby. Griffins died with their flyers. So now we just sadly watched Luella fall, and now we all have to sit here and listen to Sibby just cry slowly. And die.
We're just dying.
While
Riddick is fucking bleeding out.
And
he's telling Violet to go.
This is you have my honor moment, but you have earned an honorable death for Sibby, and that broke my heart because whatever, torture the people, don't kill the creatures, okay? I'm not here for it. Never here for it. Wing beats. Sadly, none of these griffins and dragons are currently circling around. So what the fuck are these wing beats? Oh, that's right. Now we have wyvern casually just swooping in and out of these clouds. What the fuck?
The wyvern that just came in and grabbed Sibby off the cliff. But as in the last chapter, it explains as they're going up, they just kind of briefly see bits and pieces of dragon wing going through the clouds, and she's like, "What was that? Was that a brown? Was that Atrum?" And Riddick's like, "No, Atrum's up top." And we're just kind of confused. I'm like, okay, so how long were the wyverns circling in those clouds with being unnoticed since the dragons couldn't see them? I don't love
So I've just
it.
been chilling here for how long? Circling around. Nope. I
So,
don't love
Violet
any of it.
Violet and
But
Tarn are
what?
going to take matters into their
Uh-oh.
own hands, and she, Brennan can't move Riddick right now, and she looks at him. She's like, "You will not die. Do you understand? Riddick can never die." Rebecca, this is again our official petition. Riddick has to survive all 5 books. I can't. I cannot lose him or Sawyer.
We're not going to lose them because Violet makes him swear it too. Like, we made a deal. You were in on that deal. You are not
Mm-hmm.
dying. The 4 of us are going to make it through this. You are not dying.
He has to. He
And then
has
we
to live.
have, yeah, literally. And Violet, fucking miraculously, the smallest of the group, is like, okay, it's my job to handle all of this. Here, take Sloan, take her to safety. All of you keep going, get over the cliff's edge, like,
The
or
crest,
the
yeah.
top, the crest, and Dane is just like still fucking doubting her, and it's like, oh, but would Ryerson really want you to go do that? Are you sure he would want you to like put yourself in
Really.
danger? Yeah, actually he would. That's why I love him. Ooh, in your face, bitch.
I like that Brennan, he kind of has a Zayden moment because during Gauntlet, Violet's like, I can't do the Gauntlet. And Zayden's like, figure it out. Find another way. There's always another way. And here we are talking about storm wielders and people who are going to control the wind. And Brennan's like, you know what? Like, if we can't clear the clouds, use them. Find another way because, her signet doesn't rely on the clouds, but lightning can come from the fucking clouds. And also, like, use the cover to your advantage. There's so many different things to do here. And Brennan's like, come on, think about it.
Use the cover and use that as a conduit to trap your lightning inside and be an amplifier for what you need it to do in this scenario. The cleverness of like killing them inside the cloud itself.
Yeah.
Again, like she shocks the venin in the pools of water. Same concept. Now we're just in a cloud. And I'm like, bitch, yes. Bitch, yes. Genius. But revisiting this idea that these wyvern, they're not just born or hatched or whatever, they're created. And they're created from the venin. So what they know, the venin know. And I hate this because now we have these fucking wyvern that were already patrolling around and sensed that shift of our happy little hatchling, who have now just probably sent that information all the way back before they were even killed, putting everyone in Erasia, the dragons, the hatchling, all these new flyers that are heading there, all the riders that are there, my sweet Jasenia. Nope. Mm-mm. Now I'm fucking pissed.
One thing that we did kind of graze over is not only did they get the luminary, but they also got a book from Takaris all about the venin, everything that they know, and the wyvern. And that's how we know that the wyvern and the venin's thoughts are all connected. So what they know is what the venin knows and vice versa. And we have so much to learn from this book, and just the weight of that little bit of information settling in. Like, we are all so extra fucked right now just for that sole fact in this book. And Violet's like, you haven't even let me touch it in 4 days. And Brennan's like, well, it's only been 3, but some of this is actually still outranking you. Like, wow, really? You want to pull that when she's like the best fucking scribe mind you've got? Okay, Brennan. Rude as fuck. But this book, we have this book, and this is huge.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, we're on our way to Erasia with all these new people, and we're just solely fucked.
much. In a fucking
No big.
nutshell, we are royally fucked. And so close to the end of Iron Flame.
Got a quarter left, and that is literally the ending chapter to this episode.
Yep. It was
I can't.
fantastic. It was a journey. There was a lot of mostly lows in that. Not a lot of high points. We're at a really rough point in this book right now. Things pretty much go downhill from here. And hopefully we have some relief going into Onyx Storm at the beginning, but I highly doubt it because I don't know how it gets. You can't go up from venin. And the love of my life is venin. And I'm just pissed. I am just pissed.
We appreciate you guys being here through this deep dive. We only have a few more episodes left until we are done with Iron Flame, right up to the release of Onyx Storm. We are really just powering through. If you missed it, we recently released an episode on our Patreon with the incredible Tracy Wolf. Such an amazing interview. We laughed. We cried, we learned so much, and we are super excited to have shared that with everybody. So make sure you go check that one out. It's really one that you do not want to miss. But we are just so thankful for everyone being here, every week with us and sticking along with us as we really just push through Iron Flame. If you are still here with us, sound off in the comments, all of your theories. If you're going to any Onyx Storm release parties, maybe you can find new friends in our comment sections on YouTube, or let us know on Instagram. Let's all just kind of make new friends. If anyone in the Nebraska area is going, let Callie know. We need more Midwest bookish friends out there for her to go to these things with, since we stupidly live so far away from each other.
So far.
Yeah. So sad. But don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow us on all sorts of socials, and just make sure you don't miss out on all the things we have upcoming. We will have some pretty exciting news coming forward. But just thanks for being here, and we'll see you guys in the next one.